What is going on, stargazers? I know that you guys are doing good wherever this video finds you. And remember, if you're not in a good place right now, it does not mean that you're going to stay there. I want to say right now, guys, I'm just going to dive into it. I'm getting the numbers 8, 13. And I want to say that there is a completion to a cycle, or there was a death to a part of who you once maybe thought you were, or what you resonated with. There's a part of you who is maybe going through feeling overwhelmed, or feeling like there's something that you want to do or something that needs to get done. You may be not hearing or getting the message of whatever it is that you need to go ahead and maybe hear. And it's the final puzzle piece is what I'm getting told to say, in a sense of this is the part before you rise. It's kind of giving me like a ghost story, in a sense where a ghost had a tragic passing and the ghost doesn't know that it's passed yet. You have taken the time to invest in yourself, healing, and it's like maybe you are really focused on getting the results that you want, and there's nothing wrong. It's like you're driven. But somehow I want to say that there's one last cry. For this major cycle to come to an end, I want to say there's one major cry, one last part of you maybe facing or accepting. It's just like you're getting certain truths, I want to say, that are coming out to you. And it's just like you could be sitting down fine and you get a random thought that takes you back to a childhood, or to maybe a situation, a friendship dynamic. I think you're maybe seeing the truth of whatever it is that you didn't want to see. And I think it's more of the part about you really accepting it now, and knowing that you are moving and making the right choices. But it's kind of when you give that last look and you give one turnaround and you look back. Confirmation on the commercial. But yes, I do want to say that that is very significant as far as I'm picking it up. And what I'm picking up too is that I think you're wanting to do things in a certain way, or you're wanting to have things done in a certain way. And it's like you've been sticking to the schedule, or this new schedule that you've created for yourself. And what I'm hearing is you need to keep going forward. Let's say, for example, if you were exercising and it's like you don't want to exercise, find the will to keep doing it, because now it's like, how much do you want it? Because you're entering the threshold, and it's just like, now is not the time to slow down, but now is the time for you to go forward as far as bettering your body, your mind, doing things that benefit you, as far as having boundaries up, saying no, listening to yourself, listening to your body, and knowing that this is a moment right now for you maybe to go ahead and be within yourself and sit in the silence and really heal. I'm hearing purified. You're being purified. Because again, you are still going forward, but it's just like this is the final truth of maybe what you're not wanting to see. I'm getting a scenario of someone who is getting a verge of feeling a certain emotion. Whether that be an emotion of you not wanting to face a certain past, or maybe you're just bored and it's just like you have nothing else to do, and it's just like you really do what you're doing, but you created a cycle in a bad habit, is what I want to say. For the way that it's coming in is that even this bad habit was meant to happen in a way for you, because nothing is by chance or coincidence. And do not hold on to the material part of it, is what I'm getting, in the sense of do not hold on to the things that you feel that you've done wrong, or how you're making mistakes, or if you made mistakes. All right, you have come to this point in time where you are being the change that you want. And I'm getting someone who's dancing, and as they're dancing, it's just like maybe you start crying, because it's just like you have all this pent up energy. You could also be having a hard time sleeping. I want to say right now, for a majority of people, that there is a lot of irritations. There's a lot of people getting run by their mind rather than them running their mind. And it's like silence is the biggest key word here, silence. And don't blame anything around you, because the ultimate thing to go ahead and go forward is that you need to know that you have the power to go forward. Because if it comes to temptations, if it comes to bad habits, you could have the best advice, the best people there helping you, but it has to be you who goes forward. And you've earned that privilege to say that you walked through hell, but that didn't mean that you became hell. Because now it's giving from darkness to light. And it's just like as you're entering the light, because both are, there's a duality in both worlds, I want to say, both worlds. There's a duality of good and bad and white light, and a duality in black light, or black darkness. Duality of good and bad. But it's just like as you're going into this light, everything that was done in the dark, and maybe things that you did in the dark, and things that maybe you're still holding on to are now surfacing up. And it's just like you're not taking that time to really slow down and hear what is going on, to really hear, because you're either numbing yourself by whether it's smoking, doing bad things, or whether it's just, not that there's anything wrong with doing those things, but it's also about knowing that if you are struggling with an addiction or something, you take the time to go ahead and say, you know what, obviously I can't get off of this that fast, but wean off of it. And it's not saying that you have to stop smoking per se, but it's just about you knowing that at this point in time that you've already experienced it. But now your body needs to experience a time of healing. It's about you now making the right choices, because you have to think about the bigger picture as well. You finding this video, or this video presented itself, you have a higher knowledge or consciousness. And it's not to say that you have all the answers or you know, but I want to say that you have a strong pain tolerance. And I want to say that you probably did not get certain answers as to why certain things happened. And let that be known that that is an answer, that no answer was an answer. And it's also about you knowing that you weren't allowed to hurt, you were allowed to feel. But do not stop yourself from going forward. Do not cheat yourself out of living an experience. Doing these things if you're wanting to better yourself. To do so because of you. For the love that you have of yourself. Because maybe you would do these things, whether it was trying to lose weight, whether it was trying to go ahead and impress people, or you did it for the wrong reasons. But now it's like, this is a moment where it's just, I want to say it's for you. It is about you going ahead and taking the steps to go forward. But let's go ahead and dive in. I did split the deck and I did say that, guys. So that's weird right there. I said it was like if you were looking back at something. So I split it right here in front of you guys. So I do want to say that you're looking back into something, saying that maybe you wish something could have been different, or that. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe you're having a hard time sleeping now too, because you're choosing not to go ahead and face these emotions. And the more that you're building up energy, the more it's going to feel chaotic. But I do want to say that there is a sense of energy being shot out from the sun, which are the solar flash. So there is a huge amount of energy coming through towards us, and that is creation energy. So the moment that you don't feel motivated, and it's like you are still going forward doing these new habits that you've created for yourself, you need to go ahead and you should just ultimately keep going and find the willpower. But it's not lowercase, it's like W, like the will. You need to know too that you're not losing out on anything, or nothing was wasted. It's only like that if you see it. But I also said the number 13 with death. And it's funny because as I split the card, the 5 of Cups is actually a water. Scorpio could be significant, but Scorpio gives me 13, the death. So I do want to say you're allowed to be in your emotions. You're allowed to feel right now. You're allowed to go ahead and feel as if you don't have all the answers. Because if you're going through something, I want to say you're meant to go through that experience because it's happening for a reason. I'm rather thinking, why did it happen, or how did it happen? It's about riding the wave of it, but knowing that what has happened does not affect who you are. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and say, because I don't want to go ahead and channel too much, there's just a lot of noise. But I want to say the significant part of this reading is for you to go ahead and find silence. For you to face the things now that are surfacing. Because if not now, then when? You finding this reading and watching this reading, the fact that you were even looking up maybe like readings or other tarot readings, or the fact that you're wanting to go ahead and find an answer, or let this be confirmation that you are on the right place and time, because that you're doing the work that everyone has to do when it comes to, I want to say, evolving. Because rather than choosing to do things that others may surround themselves, whether it's partying, going out drinking, or just doing the norm, for this person in this reading, I want to say you are choosing to go within yourself. You're not choosing to go ahead and numb the pain. You're choosing to go ahead and confront it. And you are doing the true healing, the true inner work, is what I'm hearing. It's about you finding silence in this time of the death. And it's like I said, maybe you feel like you didn't know that you passed away in a metaphoric way, like the ghost who had a traumatic experience, but then realizes that they passed away and that he didn't know that they passed away. And it's just like maybe all these things surfacing are now coming so that you can have a peace of mind in this new beginning. I also want to say that you are intuitive, and you may feel that your intuition is off right now. I want to say that it's not. I want to say that it is literally like a reboot, a reset. But yes, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. And we're just going to go ahead and dive in. Let's see. There we go. So the significant card here is the Ten of Cups. Rainbows could be very significant. Even half rainbows in the clouds. And I'm getting that if you're seeing a half rainbow in the clouds, that is to let you know that you are connected to the spiritual realm, but it's also coming in the sense that you are halfway there. And I did say that at the beginning of the reading, that you are halfway to wherever it is that you want to be. 10 is also giving me completion. It is also meaning that you are whole, or you are now coming to that part. It's like I said, you are doing the healing that really matters. You are doing the work that matters when it comes to yourself. So that for me could also just represent that you are becoming whole. You are having the knowing of what you deserve, what you're going to allow, what you're not going to allow. And it's like you had to experience not having peace in order to know that you are the one who cultivates that peace. And I want to say at this point, because it's been coming through, that if you are putting yourself in a point of becoming whole, that does not mean that you're the only one. So it's just like you're entering a new part or a new frequency where others are whole. So I want to say that there could be a divine counterpart coming in. Put it wherever it goes, but you could have kids, this person can have kids. But I want to say that this is maybe something of what you need, should it happen. But again, it's always about going within, but this isn't a love reading. This is a you reading right now. So let's see. We have the Queen of Cups to the side. So there's a lot of water emotion here. You're in your emotions, and I want to say that's probably why it feels more chaotic and it's more hard, because you've never shut off your emotions. I want to say that you're very expressive as far as how you go about things. And I want to say that you're also very forgiving, you're very nurturing. But it's kind of giving me with the water that maybe this is a mirror for you to look at yourself in the reflection, and whatever it is that you give to others, right now you're needing to give to yourself, because again, it is healing. I'm seeing or recommending that you should take Himalayan water baths with salt. Talk to the water, because the water, it is alive, and whenever you drink your water, say, I am a divine being, and I am speaking to a divine element. May this cleanse my mind, body, and soul. And remember, it's not for anyone else to believe. It's about you believing in your own magic and your own words of how you speak. And also knowing that you may not see the results at first, but know that we are electrical beings. So as electrical beings, we have to build the momentum. We have to build that energy. Let me get one more and see what's going on. So we do have the world. We have celebration. Okay. I'm going to actually take that one up. Okay. It was reversed, actually. So. Okay, so the world came in reverse, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily negative, but it's also giving me like your road may be upside down, or it may be feeling like it's just a whole bunch of chaoticness because maybe you are seeking validation outside yourself. You're seeking, as like I said, there's people who don't want to see certain things at face value, is what I'm hearing. And it's just like some people don't want to, maybe are not ready or are not capable of maybe handling things a certain type of way, but it's just like they do a shortcut. So it's like if someone is hurting and they broke up with their boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, and it's just like they want to go drink and they want to go party, that would be considered taking a shortcut only to go ahead and make yourself feel better. And it's just like, it may provide you a form of release or may provide you a form of comfort in that very moment. But the moment that comfort leaves, you're going to go back for more and more because it felt good to have that validation, when it's just like you're seeking things that are never going to give you the full validation that you need. The way that it's coming in, it's like maybe you feel like you're getting delays. There's no closure. Like I said in the reading, you felt like there was no answer. And it's like this is an answer because no answer is an answer. And it's like you maybe having to go ahead and say, like how I said, you give that look back. And it's like that final look back. Because you know that you carried love. And it's just like, maybe you're asking yourself, who was I though? Who was I? Because it's like, as I'm looking over here, I'm here on my own. And it's just like, where are all of you that were maybe there in my life? And that's why you're feeling incomplete. But this is a time of you celebrating. But the fact that it came back in uncelebration in reverse, it's giving me like, it's your mindset right now. And you were in the proper mindset. You maybe feel like you see everyone around you, maybe friends or associates, or maybe people around you, like if they're all doing things, or it's just like they're living a fulfilled life. And yet you're comparing yourself when you shouldn't be comparing yourself, because you were meant to walk a totally different path, is how I'm picking it up. And in a time of celebration, what others of what you're perceiving or maybe watching may not even be the case of what is really happening behind closed doors. So it's just like you are not losing anything, or nothing is wasted, because you are still going forward. And even though you may not see it as a celebration, I want to say that you are going to see it as a celebration later on. But right now, celebrate the fact that you are working on your body. The fact if you are working on your content. The fact that if you are writing books, or the fact that you are just speaking your truth. And then with this one, this is my indicator because it's the thing for the tarot cards. That's it. That you don't really see no more. But it does say the untold story. And the untold story is you stepping into this, believing in yourself, and as scary as it may be, because you're looking back. But know that if you made it to where you are to look back, that there shouldn't be a reason for you to go back no more. But instead, just say thank you. And I'm getting ho'oponopono in the sense of you just saying whether you should maybe look up this meditation or not, but it's like, I am sorry. Forgive me. I'm grateful. I love you. As much as you forgive, it's also about you forgiving yourself. And just knowing that you may have done wrongs too, but it's at this point just letting it be. And just with a mirror, looking back at yourself, just saying, I am not who I was. And now I can mirror myself and nurture myself and love myself. It's just funny because I did say the number 13, and on the cards, well, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the 10 of Cups, and then we have the World, and then we have the 3 of Cups. But I did say the number 13, and if you did want to add it, it's just like 3 right here, 1 and that's 3. So I'm getting the 13 with a death here as well. But if you add it 2 with a 3 and 3 with 3 of Cups, that's 6. So it's also giving me the Tower moment with 16. But it's also giving me the number 7 if you add all of the numbers together, which means alignment. You were coming into alignment, and this is alignment for you. Even though you may not see it or see the results of that, it is about you having to go forward and really stay strong and whatever it is that you're choosing to do as far as bettering yourself. But knowing that as you better yourself, you're doing so because of the love for yourself. The colors green, turquoise, and purple could be very significant. And yes, I'll leave it at that for now, stargazers, and until next time. Thank you.